Senator from Florida.
Mr. President, President Biden ran on a promise to be a unifying moderate. He promised to bring Americans together. On the campaign trail, he pledged to shut down the virus, not the country. As we've seen with his vaccine mandate, the opposite is happening. Joe Biden and Democrats in Washington have adopted an agenda of systemic socialism focused on expanding government and federal control. In Joe Biden's America, the government knows better than the people, and President Biden has shown that he's eager to use government mandates to keep families in check. President Biden's latest vaccine mandate for private companies tramples on the personal freedoms of Americans. This unconstitutional order pushed more Americans out of the workforce, devastated our economy with product and service shortages that cripple supply chains, and threw America into a stagflation crisis not seen since the 1970s. By forcing some working Americans to choose between keeping their jobs or doing what they believe is best for their health, Biden's mandate hurts the people he claims to help: workers, low-income Americans, and seniors on a fixed income who will all be either hit with higher unemployment, higher prices, or a shortage of available goods. When I think about the impact of burdensome government regulations, I think about my dad. My adopted father was a truck driver. Anyone who's driven trucks or been close to someone in that line of work knows how demanding the job can be. It's hard work, and it's one of the most critical jobs in our country. Truck drivers are like the offensive linemen of America's supply chain, often overlooked, but absolutely essential to getting things moving. Our country is already experiencing a significant shortage of truck drivers. We can't afford to lose any more. Of course, trucking isn't the only industry that will be affected by Biden's unconstitutional mandate. Nearly every sector is under the gun. And in an economy where simply keeping shelves stocked is an everyday challenge, losing workers in almost any critical industry will have catastrophic impacts across our supply chains and drive prices even higher. Just this week, a month and a half before Thanksgiving, Amazon began already giving Black Friday discounts on goods because they expect so many delays and shortages on goods. That means families who have to wait for holiday bonuses before they go shopping are going to be facing out-of-stock signs online and in stores. Joe Biden needs to answer this question. How is he going to fix this? How can Joe Biden guarantee our supply chains won't completely crumble under his failed policies and mandates? In fact, I urge President Biden to have Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo testify to the Commerce Committee on the shortages that we're already seeing and the shortages that we anticipate. Ensuring the stability of American supply chains requires the urgent attention of the Biden administration, and as a member of the Commerce Committee and ranking member of the Subcommittee on Tourism, Trade, and Export Promotion, I know this testimony from Secretaries Buttigieg and Raimondo would be useful in understanding how this will be addressed. We're already starting to see major supply issues. Seafood restaurants in Miami are seeing price increases of 50 to 60% on fish. Furniture stores in Florida are seeing wait times of 6 to 8 months before they can deliver certain products. And Florida grocery stores are warning of product shortages as customers are starting to see empty shelves. Small business owners and families aren't able to afford those kinds of drastic increases. But if President Biden has his way, those transportation difficulties are going to become even worse, and prices will rise even higher. Right now, rising prices on everyday goods are forcing American families to make hard choices. I've said it on this floor countless times, and I'll say it again. Reckless government spending causes inflation. The reckless spending agenda of Joe Biden and Democrats here in Washington is having disastrous effects on families across our country. We can never forget that as inflation worsens and prices surge higher, it's the poorest Americans and those on fixed income who are hurt the most. There are single moms wondering if they can put an extra few gallons of gas in the car and still afford to put dinner on the table this week. Or moms like mine who took on odd jobs to make ends meet and watched the smallest price changes at the grocery store to make sure we could still get by. If President Biden actually spoke with small and mid-sized employers and hardworking families instead of big banks and CEOs, he learned that massive federal mandates won't help us get our economy back on track. His big government mandates will only hurt us. I want to be clear, I got the vaccine, I had COVID, and I encourage every American to talk with their doctor and consider doing the same. But getting the vaccine is a choice every American gets to make for themselves. We can't give people an ultimatum to comply, quit, or get fired. It's a gross overreach by the federal government at a time when we need more jobs, not less, lower prices on everyday goods, not higher. Unlike Joe Biden and Democrats in Washington, I don't believe that government knows better than the American people. My parents didn't have much of a formal education, but they worked hard and made the choices they felt were right for the health and well-being of our family. They relied on government to keep them informed and then made their own choices. That's how government should work. That's what I did when I was governor of Florida. In 2016, Florida was faced with the Zika virus, which impacted newborns. Rather than placing mandates on pregnant women or restricting their travel to areas with local transmission of Zika, which we knew where they were, we simply informed Floridians. We worked to be as transparent as possible and offered free Zika testing to all pregnant women in Florida. That's how the federal government should deal with COVID. Government's role in public health is to inform and support, not mandate. Mr. President, our country is seeing labor shortages caused by Democrats' failed policies of rewarding unemployment, paying people more to stay at home than to get back to work. Energy prices are surging and inflation is raging. American families can't afford more of President Biden's radical policy decisions that are inflicting lasting damage and driving our economy backwards. Restoring and strengthening our supply chain is a critical step in getting the American economy rolling forward. It's time for President Biden to acknowledge massive, unconstitutional mandates on private companies won't do anything but hurt American business and throw gasoline on the all-raging inflation crisis he has created. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.